Yo, 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's what the MC said. I remember when my sister dragged me to the block party because my mother said, "You better take that fat mother to that block party." And the one thing that I didn't like about that block party, I just kept hearing on Maze. Which one was that? You make me happy. Every block party I went to in 1979, I am 6 years old at that time. And my sisters, they just loved it. I just kept walking into Maze and Frank and Beverly at every block party. Yes. And I started crying by the 6th or the 7th time. Because we was in Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy at the time because we from Brownsville and we wasn't going to the ones in Brownsville, but we went over. Yo, peace, people. This is the Black Raspberry Show podcast. You know, I sporadically stop by and, you know, my brother Matthew riding my ass saying, Negro, this is a business, man. Stop playing. I have a special guest here. One that knows that 120. Probably, you know what I'm saying? You're studying it. You're going through it because I don't know it. From word for word.
Well, I have a great enlightener and a master builder that's
there you go.
on.
Can I get a hand clap for that? Throw that hand clap for me. Throw it in there. How you doing, brother?
I'm chilling out, God. I'm taking it easy, man. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to jump right into something.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard. There was 41 people shot in Chicago.
Over the weekend?
Over the Memorial Day weekend.
Really?
41 people, and they said 9 deaths. A couple of little kids got shot inside their homes because
bullets
they touching the gun. It's like Chicago had a very bad week, and what's crazy is, you know, we just was speaking about, you know, our enlighteners and the ones that laid that ground root down from Elijah to Malcolm to Farrakhan to Clarence the 13th X, and it's like, wow, Minister Farrakhan is based in
Chicago,
and it's like,
and what I found out in 2000 and I think 12 or something,
right?
Because a little baby got shot in my projects.
Right.
Farrakhan grew up 2 blocks away on Union Avenue in the South Bronx. I didn't know that. So Farrakhan came with the FRI, the Forest Projects, to talk to us about what happened to the baby.
Right.
I didn't know he was born and raised in the South Bronx.
Right. And it's like, it's crazy that we jumped on the minister. The minister turned 90 years old. And they gave him his kids and his wife, grandkids, all of them. They gave him a 90-ounce plaque of gold.
Wow.
You know.
Well, yeah, because to make that 90-year-old, to make that that's it's a benchmark, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if my father was alive, he'd be 90-something.
Right.
And if Father Allah was alive, he'd be 90-something because I think they was in the same age. And I think they was in the same war together as well.
The Korean War.
Like my father and Father Allah was in the Korean War together. So, you know, that's why I try to do my research to see if they knew each other.
Right, true indeed.
You know
True indeed. It's crazy. My dad was in the Vietnam War. And my dad was based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And Fort Bragg, North Carolina was Frank Lucas' distribution of that heroin with dead soldiers. And I'm going to tell you, my dad, when I finally met my father, I met my dad at 15 on April Fool's Day.
Wow.
And when we was trying to bridge our relationship, we went into the Bronx under the train. The same way how the way they show it on American Gangster. When I seen that part in American Gangster, I'm like, oh, wow. My dad was like, you Brooklyn don't know nothing about no money. But he just had this hatred for drugs. And I had put it together like, wow, wait a minute. When I seen American Gangster, like, wait a minute, Fort Bragg, wait. My dad was there. My dad was there from 66 to 72.
So he seen all that shit coming in.
He seen it happening. And just had this complete.
He was disgust with it.
But let's jump the how can I say the time. I want to jump into rap.
Okay.
What was your What was the first song you heard that you could remember in your memory bank, in your memory files? What was that first hip hop song?
You know what's crazy? Because I, being born and raised in the South Bronx, and you know, my father, you know, was in the era. We're from Claremont Village,
right.
168th Street, 169th Street, Webster Avenue, Washington, Park
right.
Avenue, 3rd Avenue, Fulton, Franklin, Boston Road, the whole area. You know what I'm saying? And God, I can't even honestly tell you because that shit just was everywhere. But when I started taking notice of it,
right.
I would have to honestly say, because it was always everywhere, but as far as me grasping memory and walking around as a little boy, I can tell you the first record I held in my hand.
Go ahead. What vinyl was that?
Run DMC. It's Like That. And on the other side was Sucker MC. So that had to be about 82, 83.
Right, 82. I was in the 4th grade.
Right. That was about 82, 83. So I'm a little boy and I'm checking this shit out, and hip hop is everywhere. I got to give you some history about the hip hop. In my neighborhood in Claremont Village, where the first set of projects I grew up in, Tim Dog is 4 buildings away from me.
Fuck Compton.
Fuck Compton. I love Compton, but you know, it's fuck Compton.
Me too. That just was so I'm trying to give y'all an idea who you're talking about.
Right. So Tim Dog was 4 buildings away from me. Cool Keith and Said G is right up the block.
Oh, you talking about the
Ultramagnetic MCs? The Ultramagnetic and Tim Dog grew up in Claremont Village. Okay. They're older than me, but we all from the same neighborhood in Claremont Village. So I saw that. I could tell you what grasped my memory as a kid, with my older sisters taking me to the gyms and my mother making them take me, and I'm being bad, running a raid because my father was a gangster. Right. So I realized that I could do what the fuck I want to do, and nobody was going to do nothing to me. I would do whatever I want to do. They would lose me in the jams. Ooh. And they would always find me though.
Right.
But I remember for a fact what would cause pandemonium when it came on. Ego Tripping from Ultramag.
Right.
The Rakim joints.
I came in the door. I said
Eric
it
B
before.
for President would cause pandemonium.
That's 86, 87.
Big Daddy Kane would cause pandemonium. Right. What was before 86? Because I remember going to jams before 86.
The
87.
Show, my brother. The show.
The Show.
85.
The Show.
Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick.
The Show. What else would be crazy? All that shit they used to play in the jams. I had to be mad little. You have to be mad little in the jams, the lottie dottie, all that shit. So all of that fed me to really, it just absorbed it in me naturally without me knowing subconsciously. Right. Because writing rhymes and making songs wasn't my first love. You met my mentor. Right. My mentor is Andre Leroy Davis. He was my mentor before I even knew him. Right. I used to do everything he did. I used to show, like, look, Dre, I drew this, I drew that, I drew that. Okay. When I got to know him as I got older. Right. I used to always drew his work, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And it just was the area, God, because hip hop was everywhere as a little kid. Like, imagine seeing KRS-One film that video where
My Philosophy. That's My Philosophy.
Where he's in front of the steps. That's my neighborhood. The women's shelter is a women's shelter now, but KRS used to stay in that shelter. That's where he met Scott LaRock at, in that shelter, right there where he filmed in front of them steps. I wasn't in the video, but I walked past the video set. Right. Just seeing mad shit, seeing Tim Dog with the 40 Below.
Hip hop live.
Try this. All the rappers. Because I moved to Forest Project about 12 years old with my sister. My mother still lived on Webster.
Fat Joe was from there, right?
I lived across the street from Fat Joe. I lived in 1020. He lived in 1000. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I would see, mind you got to understand, DITC is popping.
That's right, digging in the crates.
So all the rappers is coming. My only rapper I never got to see in person was my favorite rapper was Big L. I never got to see him in person. But all the other rappers used to come to the hood. I remember seeing King Son walk around with 40 Belows. I remember seeing all the rappers come to Forest Projects fucking with Showbiz and Diamond D. And I remember seeing all that
I'm going to tell you, I remember looking at an interview with Fat Joe. It's like when I hear Fat Joe talk about hip-hop, And him being from the Bronx, I absorb it better when he said, because he's giving me the actuals. And hold on. When he said that, when he was in public school, he said when he first heard Sucker MC, and he said he remember as a kid just looking at the kids and said the whole auditorium went crazy hearing that. And it's like that transition of the hip hop hibbit to the hibbit, no disrespect to Spoonie G and Kool Moe Dee, but Run and DMC did something different. Yeah. It was a spark. Yeah. Because to me, my favorite hip hop song all the time would be Run DMC's The King of Rock.
Wow.
That song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just amazing.
And the crossover that they had. Like that rock music thing that they had going on with that rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was amazing. But you talk about like Fat Joe, it's crazy watching him grow, because I seen him and Lord Finesse the most in the projects.
Right.
I would see Diamond D sometimes. I saw maybe Mike Smooth probably once growing up in the projects.
Right.
But Fat Joe and Lord Finesse were mainstays in the projects before they said fuck all that.
So in 94, 95, you about what, like 18, 19?
About 17.
Was the people in the BX like really? You know, no, just asking because I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Was
y'all really on Lord Finesse and Diamond D?
Yeah.
And Showbiz?
Okay, let me tell you what it is. I grew up. You know, I started watching Video Music Box late. It came on 83. I think I started watching it about 85, 86.
Okay.
And because my cousin introduced it, she was like, yo, turn the Video Music Box. We was like, me and mom was like, what? Right. She was like, you don't know Video Music Box? We was like, nope. Once she turned to channel 31, it was over. So as far as them, first time I seen Diamond D, he was with Master Raw.
Right.
Doing I live in Forest, across from Morris, got my hair on my chest to Chuck Norris. Dick Diamond D was a DJ for Master Rob or something like that. And then, you know, Lord Finesse came out with Strictly for the Ladies. And that shit had the Bronx crazy. This was who was the nicest niggas in New York at that time in the early to mid 90s. We was arguing, was getting in fights as little kids. Lord Finesse, Lord Tariq, and Nas. We used to always rap about that. I mean, argue about that. Who was the nicest niggas?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Around that time. And Lord Finesse definitely, there was a point where he was the king of New York.
Yeah, he was.
He was the king of New York at one time.
Before that label of it being dropped off to Biggie Smalls.
Right.
But yes, he was.
He was the king of one time.
Because down in Brownsville, down in Brooklyn,
y'all love Lord Finesse?
We was getting the tapes. Whoever was putting out the tapes, whatever what tapes.
Right.
We was listening to those tapes. How did y'all feel about KRS-One? Y'all didn't throw him in that argument, or do y'all feel like?
Well, this is us as little kids,
right? Exactly.
As little kids doing what we think. You got to understand, Nas and Big L at that time when they came out, they was children still with their parents.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So those are kid rappers to us because we're younger than them.
Right. True indeed.
But they wasn't marketed as kid rappers.
Right.
They was marketed as men.
Yes, they were.
And they came out as kids.
Yes, they did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they did.
And it was amazing to us looking at these young ass little boys rap like 40-year-old men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Was Biggie Smalls thrown in this conversation at that time, 94, 95?
Nah. Let me give you a story about that Biggie Smalls situation. I am a Biggie fan. I can't say was because, you know, his legacy is always going to be there. I'm a Biggie fan, and I ain't going to front. I was liking his come-up music before I heard the official album. Now, what I learned is that that Ready to Die album is not the original album. There was a first album before that. I didn't hear that one.
Right.
Never heard that one. Okay, well, I'm going to hear it soon. Right. But I heard the one that Puff put out.
Right.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was like, this is not my man. This is not Biggie Smalls. This is not working with Minnesota. This is not with Minnesota.
Even the hardcore joints on it. You didn't feel them?
Let me tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
So around this time, I'm making my bones as far as coming up as rapping because I started rapping at 13. So by the time I came out, I'm like 17.
Right.
I'm about 4 years in it. I'm getting that respect that, yo, this is one of them dudes.
Right.
It got so crazy, I even battled Mace at his graduation from Manhattan Center.
Right.
If Mace ever hear this and remember that battle, that was me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was his only tie and my only tie. I'm 700-0-1. And I say that 1 is the tie with him.
Right.
And so as far as with the Biggie Smalls joint,
right.
Craig Davis, God bless the dead, asked me about, because he was respecting my bars. He didn't really like me as a little kid because I was run my mouth. He used to beat me up. He was the older dudes to beat me up, but he respected my bars. He was like, yo, Ed, come here, Ed, because his mother called me Ed OG. Yo, Ed OG, yo, come here, yo. Yo, you heard that Biggie Smalls album? You a rapper. You be rapping. You heard that Biggie Smalls album? I said, yeah. He said, what you thought of it? I was like, I didn't really like it. I said, I'm in Nas. I like Nas and Wu-Tang. He's like, what the fuck you mean? Him and his man balked on me. Right. Like, what that shit is, how the fuck you do? He's like, let me ask you something. And this is what was the game changer.
Go ahead.
He said, you smoke weed? I said, yeah, I smoke weed. He said, was you high when you heard it? I looked up. I said, no, I wasn't. He said, smoke a blunt, listen to Ready to Die, come back. Let me know what you thought.
So did you smoke that blunt?
Okay, so this is I and me, because I had some money. I'm like 16, 17 at the time. I'm getting money and whatever I'm doing on other shit. And, you know, even though I'm 16, 17, my father was an older dude. He was a street hustling. Right. He put the Social Security from his army days in the war. So I was getting that pension money.
Right.
I had money, went and bought some smoke. Rolled up. I put the headphones on, because you still got the headphones with the tape deck back then. Laid down on my bed, smoked that weed, and I was never the biggest fool ever. I swear to God, I said that I am fucking stupid. I said that this is called the Biggie Smalls effect. Because when I smoked that blunt and listened to Ready to Die from his birth to when he knocked his fucking wig back.
Suicide thoughts, exactly.
I finished listening to that album. I went to Craig Davis. I said, oh my God, Craig. Yo, that shit is a hip-hop classic. I said, that shit is just as good as Illmatic.
Right.
I said, it may not gave me the same feel as Illmatic.
Right.
It may not be better than Illmatic.
Right.
That shit is Illmatic. I said, yo, there's no question about it. I said, Biggie Smalls fucked my life up listening to this shit high. So this is what I had to learn. I call that the Biggie Smalls effect.
Right.
You got to listen to certain people music high. I don't condone smoking weed, babies. Don't go out there smoking weed, little babies, because you heard me say some shit. I'm saying, God, I smoked that blunt and listened to Ready to Die and went fucking crazy. And that's what it is. You have to smoke weed listening to Biggie.
Let me tell you, the first two songs that I kept hearing, because of course Puffy put Juicy in our face.
Okay.
But when I kept going back to Machine Gun Funk and Warning, and the what, because we are at the year of the Method Man, as they say.
Method Man had a lot.
When Bring the Pain came out, but I was a messenger, and I went to HMV.
Okay.
That record store. It was either HMV or Tower Records, and they would have the CDs, and you could listen to.
Your preview.
And I sat there. I said, "It's cold outside. I just need some."
Right, some heat from.
I need some heat. Right. I need some warmth. And I put in that Ready to Die. And the first song to this day that always hits me is Back in the Days. That song, going out of town, growing up, 6 months later, all the dead bodies showing up. It was one day I was in a car, and my son is on the side of me, and my granddaughter's in the back of me, and I'm like really saying the song like, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of raps, which brings me to what I'm thinking about. Like those songs was so soulful, so it had meaning to it,
right?
Which I don't understand today, and I'm not knocking these children today with their streams and the way that they're getting it. But music is music, because why did Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, Al Green, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, James Brown, George Benson, and these guys grab me?
Right.
But y'all can't grab me, because music is supposed to be music. Good music is good music. Regardless of time.
Right.
I could pull a white person song from the 60s. If it moves me, it moves me. But nothing is really moving me here because maybe it's the beats that sounding the same, or I don't see a story in a video production.
Right.
Because everybody is standing there, you know, throwing up gang signs and flashing the gun, but you're not telling a story in the video. I am of the MTV generation. Right. I am of the video music box generation. I'm New York Views. It was a show that used to come on Channel 7 at 12 o'clock at night back in 81, 82, 83.
What was that? New York Hot Tracks.
New York
Hot. That's how you know,
sir.
You said New York Views.
I said New York Views.
New York
Hot Tracks.
And that's right after that. Video Music Box came.
Right.
That's how you know.
Let me tell you, the one video that scared me was this lady named, I don't know, Bonnie Franklin. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Wow.
I was a child when
I remember
that video debuted. I was scared.
Because it was like because if you think about it now that it's coming to me, it was some werewolf looking like they say satanic shit. Now that I think about it.
But that's what I'm saying. You creating a story with your videos. Like Love is a Battlefield. When you look at videos like that, y'all not telling an MTV story. Y'all getting the clicks on YouTube, whatever how the way it is, but the attention span is dumped down.
And it looks like they're getting the money too.
And they are.
It looks like they're getting the money
and
too.
Are.
But here's the thing though. How much is this of their creative control? Because let's keep it for real, God. Like the music got this bad because it was allowed to get this bad.
True.
They know what bad music is.
Right.
Country music is not going through this.
Right.
Whatever the other genres of music, it's only R&B.
Rock is not going through this.
It's only R&B and hip hop. It's only R&B and hip hop. And why? And who mainly makes R&B and hip hop? Niggas. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta make it, and then also hip hop is supposed to be very masculine, very bravado, very, you know, slap the shit out of you.
And they tuned that shit down.
They turned it into noodle soup.
And you see, it's like you're looking at the transition of the NWA and the Public Enemy, which those is to me the two groups at the top of my food chain. Run DMC, y'all God. I don't need to even mention y'all. But NWA, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, which Public Enemy is above those two. NWA, Wu-Tang Clan, then everybody else can jump on down. And it's like you seen when it's always been this folk tale that this meeting happened and people of a certain race and a certain money class says that we need to slow this revolutionary Gil Scott-Heron type
5% of themed music
down.
Yeah.
Before these people get smart. And then what we gonna do? And we need to get Suge Knight out the business. Because regardless, you know what I'm saying, he knew the business. He should have shared the business, but him robbing the business kind of educated everybody about the business. So it still was a good of the crap that you did, Suge, but the masculinity, bravado, as you say, it's
gone.
And it's too much people kill. I mean, I'm a G-Rap kind of guy, and G-Rap is a killing kind of guy. But at least there was a good story.
He had stories with his shit, right?
And
that's the only reason, because that's my number two. My 1, 2, and 3 is Rakim, G-Rap, and Scarface. The only reason why G-Rap is not number 1 because he's a far more superior MC than Rakim. He just don't rap the knowledge of self that Rakim got.
Right.
Because he has it. It's clearly obvious he has it. It's clearly obvious Kool G Rap has complete knowledge of himself.
I think the only person that could have challenged G-Rap to me would have been KRS-One and let Rakim battle Big Daddy Kane. Because to me, KRS-One, he outperformed Big Daddy Kane. And I'm from Brooklyn and I'm a Kane dude. Them first 2 albums, they are in my basement.
Well, let me tell you what I think about that. He did outperform Kane. And that's because Kane didn't have as much hits as KRS. You know what I'm saying? But this is what Kane did, and I'm going to always love Kane for this.
What?
Kane went in the motherfucking book bag and pulled out bars. That's what he did. So even though he couldn't compete with the hits that KRS kept hitting him with, he would throw in an instrumental and get busy, like with some Like I've noticed that. You know what I'm saying?
I just wish that when KRS-One performed, I'm Still Number One, he just would have sang it regular. He threw a little bit too much.
But see,
but I wish he. I was hoping
Chris,
that he
though.
did. Yeah, I know.
You gotta, being from the Bronx, we watched KRS do a lot of shows in the parks for free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He come to the Bronx and he show love to the Bronx, and we grew up watching him through videos.
Maybe in Crotona Park.
Yeah. All that shit, and he. This is just who he is, God. Like like this. In the VO actuality, he was born and raised in Brooklyn.
Yes, indeed.
He's a Brooklyn dude, and him and Kane is best friends, like brothers, grew up together. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, for him to represent the Bronx, being a Brooklyn cat.
Yeah, that's like Tupac saying he from the West Coast. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I mean? So KRS-One, he is one of the greatest of all time. He's in my top 5.
He's in your top 5.
He's in my top 5.
So who's the other 4 then, brother? Speak, Black man.
Okay,
speak.
so my top 5 is, this is in order.
Go ahead.
Rakim, Coogee Rap,
Go ahead.
Scarface, KRS, Kane. Now my number 3 is really, you rarely hear this man in anybody's top 5.
Cool.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface is the most consistent MC ever. Him and Ghostface are the most consistent to me. From what I hear, their projects, they are the most consistent. Now, Face got more classics than Ghost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they are the most consistent as far as like, you're not going to get a whack project out of them.
Right.
At all.
Do you think anybody that you name could challenge that mic on LL's arm? Because I don't think nobody could challenge the mic on his arm other than Run. That's just me, just my opinion.
I think I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. LL is in my top 10 because I love Mama Said Knock You Out. That is a fucking monument.
That album is crazy.
That's a monument. He killed that shit.
That's crazy. That's a crazy album. Crazy album.
L can't fuck with G-Rap. I don't know what you're talking about. Right now, I'm gonna keep it 100. The way Kane bars is going in 2023, L can't fuck with Kane right now. I'm not hearing no up-to-date bars.
L is going to come with something after the Rock the Bells tour that's coming. I think that he said that he was going to drop a
I want to hear something album. Because where's EPMD? Because they ain't never dropped nothing, even in their 40s and 50s. They still ain't never dropped nothing. Why? Yeah. Why EPMD stop getting that recognition? They are the most consistent rap group of all time. They got 5 straight classics, God.
Yeah, they do.
Come on, Strictly Business,
Business as
Usual, Unfinished Business.
The one with Das Effect.
Those classics.
Still in Business. One of them things, yeah.
Come on, God. They dropped about 5 classics.
And I'm gonna tell you the one thing that since we jumped to EPMD, Eric Sherman, I like to thank you for your contribution to hip hop because your beats are sick.
Yo, Eric Sherman
and
PMD beats is sick too.
But it's not Eric Sherman.
It's not Eric Sherman because PMD is the businessman.
Yeah.
He's the businessman.
I would have loved to see a collab album with Dr. Dre, The RZA, Eric Sherman, DJ Muggs. Like something collaborating. You know, I don't know which one of you mother effers is going to take producer credits, but like, you Negroes, I don't know, man. Like things like that should have happened.
Well, you know,
things like that.
That should happen. Yeah, but it's too much egos involved for that to happen. But you know what? I would love to possibly make happen one day. I would love for Dr. Dre to mix and master and engineer my whole project or whatever project, because I'm a listener, and I went to audio. I took audio classes and shit.
Because I'm coming in right behind you.
So what I'm saying is, Dr. Dre has got to be one of the greatest engineers.
That's right.
Ever.
Speak, black man, speak.
Next to, I would say, I would have to put Tony Dorsey up there, Eddie Sancho. I know who these people. Dave Dahl. You know, Superstar Dave Dahl is a sucker. It's real sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to take away from his talent. These people are elite. And like Dr. Dre, you have to put him in. They put him in the beat conversation. Yeah, he does the beats. He get beats from other producers. He got a team of producers. So
Babyface did it too.
They got team of producers. So we're not knocking them. You know what I'm saying? They do it how they do it.
Right.
But what I've learned is that this man gets on the boards, him and I think DJ Quick as well. I heard they are elite.
Well,
well, I know they're not heard. I listen to their music. They are elite engineers.
Said that DJ Quick engineered All Eyes on Me at the
I heard that.
Dr. Dre. But what I want to say, the one thing that came to me with Dr. Dre, I'm in the era of the bootleg tape.
Yeah.
And the two tapes that I've noticed that still gave me a sonic boom in my radio, where it was
bootleg
Nubians and it was bootleg, NWA's Niggas for Life and the fucking Chronic, my nigga.
Yo, I'm telling you,
it came out my radio the same fucking way. I said Dr. Dre is at that time. I said Pete Rock, you're not fucking.
So you were a listener like me.
You're not. I'm like.
I like the soundscape. I like the soundscape wave.
No disrespect to them. What y'all doing? The bootleg copy of NWA and the Chronic still came out
like the regular. It sounded like the regular CD.
I knew
Dr. Dre did that shit. Dr. Dre did that shit.
Truth, yo.
Dr. Dre did that shit.
Like you're still your shit is still going through. And I'm gonna try. I think I came across something, and he said that Pro Tools came to him first, and
really?
he did it's something that I seen or heard. That Pro Tools came to him first in the beginning stages, and he used that kind of program to do Niggas for Life. I guess for the engineer. When they first started, we still with the black and green.
Yeah.
Because I seen when they was making Niggas for Life, I'm like, wow, this nigga got a computer. I'm just used to seeing the boards. Like, wow, he got a fucking computer up here. It could have been Apple at its start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like these big things just came. These just been came.
Yeah.
So it's like the one thing about Dre could create sonic boom.
He creates sonic landscapes that, come on, listen to 50 album. Listen to Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yes.
Do you hear how crispy that shit sounds,
Yes, it is.
man?
Yes, it is.
How beautiful that shit is. Yo, it's perfection.
The documentary too.
Yo, perfection. Like, I'm like, yo, Dr. Dre, I'm like, yo, y'all talk about these engineers. Y'all have to understand. I hope y'all understand, and that's Dre doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that that possibly a bucket list. Who knows that'll probably never fucking happen. But who's to say?
Puff Daddy versus Jermaine Dupri. What you think? Who wins?
Because that's happening in September. That's happening in September, right?
Who you think? What's your prediction?
That's gonna be big. Yo, God, I got to keep it 100, man. You know what I'm saying? I love Jermaine Dupri. I know what he could do. I know where he come from. I know his beat game. I know all the R&B joints he produced. I know he probably got some shit in the stash. But Puff, regardless of what they say about him and whatever his bullshit he be on,
he got that bop.
Let's not act like this man is not a fucking genius, man.
That's right.
It's a fucking genius. It's a fucking genius.
Even though he took Ron G style, but go ahead.
He took Pete Rock style too with that. In the background. Let's not talk about Pete Rock wasn't doing that first with CL.
The Mecca and the Soul
But bust how he got to do that because Pete Rock and Puff Daddy is at Uptown under, you know what I'm saying? So while they doing what they doing, you know what I'm saying? Heavy D is Pete Rock's older cousin. That's his brother. That's not his cousin. That's his brother.
Puff Daddy, one thing about Puff, I could say that his come up and what he contributed with Jodeci and Mary J. Blige and that Uptown thing.
What I'm saying is that man. I love Jermaine Dupri. I love his beats. He's a dope dude. I bought Jump. I didn't even have a vinyl player in my house. I just love the beats, so I bought a fucking vinyl record just to have it and to buy the tape, and because for the instrumental.
Right.
I fuck with that shit that the Brat did. You know what I'm talking about? That joint where she had Biggie Smalls, everybody come down to the mansion and all that shit. That shit like yeah. That's one of my favorite beats. Yeah, that's one of my favorite beats from Jermaine Dupri too. Right, that shit. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna keep it 100 when he come on with that Biggie. Oh, he come on with that fucking. He gonna come on with that. He gonna throw in that Jadakiss. He gonna throw on some, and I'm talking about from the Bad Boy era.
Right.
He gonna throw on some shit. Come on, man. He got joints he could pull out from Mary J. He got joints he could pull out from Jodeci. He got joints he could pull out. What, from Craig Mack album, Biggie album, Faith album, Total album, BlACK Rob.
BlACK Rob's
first album should have got 5 mics. I don't know how they get 4.5. That was a hip hop classic.
One of the best things. Yo.
That album is a monument.
Puff F that up.
How the fuck he didn't get 5 mics? No. How he fucked it up? It went platinum.
One of the greatest.
It went platinum.
I don't give a
it went platinum. So I don't understand.
One of the greatest all time.
Every fucking song on that album is hidden.
That's right.
It's hidden.
That's right.
It's a classic.
Yes.
And I don't understand.
I like the one with CeeLo Green on that.
I like every song on that shit. Because he's probably one of the greatest. Okay, if we're going to put greatest storytellers of all time, BlACK Rob has to go in the top 5 or 10.
Yo.
No question about it. BlACK Rob.
When the No Way Out album came out, when the No Way Out album came out, and I Love You Baby is on there, and when he comes in, and my cousin has a system, he was a DJing. We was so high smoking weed and drinking like, yo, Biggie Nice, yo, word up, Biggie Nice. He looking at the album said, yo, cuzzo, there's some guy named BlACK Rob.
Y'all thought that was big?
We thought it was big. We was fucking high. But how the way his voice sound, if you ain't catching it and you drunk and high, Biggie just died, Puff is on the movement, life after death, No Way Out, Harlem World, everything is going right now.
I don't see how BlACK Rob and Big don't got no songs together. That's the shit that was. But looking at Gene Deal, because you know he was there.
Yeah.
He said Puff made sure that shit. Now he said he pepped Big from He's got Rob from Big. It wasn't like that. They was around each other on certain situations. Right. He said he kept niggas from
Biggie would have put him in the commission, guaranteed.
This nigga BlACK Rob.
He was nice.
Dead.
Rest in peace, BlACK Rob.
Nice, yo. That
album is crazy, son.
Yo, that album is crazy,
God. And if you people that's out there and you cleaning up the house,
it's called Life Story.
Right, Life Story. Right,
Life Story.
Right,
yo.
Right.
BlACK
he always
Rob.
biting his bottom lip. Like that.
BlACK Rob, rest in peace, man. Yeah. I hated that how he went out, man.
It was sad man. To see that. Yes, indeed. One more question I want to ask you before we wrap it up.
What's up?
But let's keep it hip hop. Let's let social issues be social issues. Okay. On the next one.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw out my 3 top albums, and you throw out yours. Gotcha. I'm going with The Chronic by Dr. Dre.
And you know your man, what's his name? Clark Kent said that's not a classic.
I know, I've seen that.
I said Clark
Kent. Like, shame on him. I mean, that's his opinion.
That's
his opinion.
That's his opinion.
But that's crazy.
Because The Chronic is better than Reasonable Doubt, and I know he feels nothing better than Reasonable Doubt. He feels nothing better than Reasonable Doubt. And I feel Reasonable Doubt is not a classic.
And I asked my friend, he's from Marcy Park, I asked him that Saturday in the car. He said, The Chronic. Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted.
Class. Oh my God, masterpiece.
That album there, not even My Summer Vacation. When I watch Snowfall and they go to Arkansas, it always brings me to Ice Cube saying, we going to St. Louis where nobody knew it. Step off the plane, 4 gangbangers, professional crack slingers. Like, I just love Ice Cube. The way
he put them, he's just dead nice.
And it was a blessing, bro. Let me say this right quick.
Go ahead, bro.
Chuck D was Public Enemy came to Bessie Head Park in Brownsville and performed. I told my man Will, I said, Will, you gotta give me this picture with Chuck D. When I gave Chuck D dap, and it's crazy because they was talking about this shit on the Drink Traps. I seen Chuck D maybe 2017, 18. I got a picture and I'm gonna put it up. I always put it up. I whispered in his ear and said, thank you for America's Most Wanted. He gave me the hip-hop eye. Because the Bomb Squad and Chuck D
did that album.
Did America's Most Wanted.
That's a fact.
Crazy album.
Crazy.
If I don't give that one a mention in my top 5, that's the 6th man off the bench.
Okay.
Is that one. But that's that End of the 36 Chambers, Ready to Die. I said the Chronic. You know, it's a lot. What's yours, bro?
Okay, my top 3. Well, I'm just gonna name the monuments that I love.
Okay.
I gotta say, Illmatic. Mm-hmm. That was a change in time of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a kid, man, it was amazing to hear a kid blossom into that. I have to say, Ready to Die. That album is crazy. I couldn't believe smoking weed could make somebody listen to music like that.
Right.
I gotta give it up. I got to say, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em.
Right.
From Rakim.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Oh no, God. The bootleg version, the original version, To Live and Let Die by Cool G Rap. Ultimate masterpiece. Oh my God. I'm gonna give you 2 more bootlegs that you probably wouldn't believe are masterpieces to me. The bootleg to Murder Music.
Right. Mobb Deep, okay.
Masterpiece. And this is Jay-Z's only full masterpiece to me, and it's not Reasonable Doubt.
Go ahead.
It's the joint his man stabbed over.
The S. Carter.
The bootleg version.
Okay.
God.
All right.
Jay-Z.
The rapper
was at the top of his motherfucking game,
right.
And I understood what everybody else said about him as far as the stealing styles and the manipulation. He's a master manipulator. He's a genius. Jay-Z, Sean Carter is a genius, and his, absorbing and we're gonna keep it 100. His biting certain things came full circle with Volume 3. Full circle, because that album was perfect to me, and everybody know I gotta put my compilation from every album. There's a few songs I like from Jay-Z. That album is the whole album I like from Jay-Z. The whole album, the only whole album. The bootleg version, because when the official version came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't want this. That's what I want. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but those are a few of my monuments. As Mama Said, Knock You Out. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you too, God. And I love LL Cool J. That's one of my favorite rappers. He is the GOAT, because he made that up, and he is the GOAT. He ain't win that battle with cannabis, God. That was a public display of people trying to change narratives. He didn't beat cannabis, and there's no way in the fucking world.
I mean, on the 4, 3, 2, 1, I think second round KO. You
ain't like the beat.
I love that shit. No.
Okay.
I think that he got L back, but L killed that nigga on 4, 3, 2, 1 though.
Okay, but
I love cannabis.
But everybody trying to say, now this is how I know this was some media moving forward, because L make way better music. This is no disrespect to L. I love L. This is one of my favorite rappers. He make way better music than Ripper Strikes Back, to say that beat cannabis. He make way better music, but I'd rather him had hypothetically put the whole Mama Said Knock You up against cannabis before you say the Ripper Strikes Back.
That was corny.
Second round knockout. Ripper Strike Back beat second round knockout.
I'm just saying that the 4, 3, 2, 1 verse. That's what I was talking about.
You know why? Because you know why he beat cannabis in that? Because he sucker punched cannabis without the nigga knowing.
Right, and we wrote the verse.
He sucker punched him, and I get it. This is war. I'm not gonna let this young bull come on my shit and out bull.
You know what was crazy? PMD said that one day he was laying in a bed. And said he just woke up out of the bed and said, "Wait a minute, this nigga L dissed us on Slow Down Baby."
Yeah.
He was like, "Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute." So he jumped out his sleep. Like, wait a minute. He said, like 10, 15 years later, it just came to him. And I guess he was, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's the bravado of a rapper. If you want to track with somebody, you ain't trying to diss them, but I'm that MC.
But truthfully, I think that is some bullshit, because let me know what it is. So don't sucker punch me so I could get up at it. But I know that this is what niggas do, because the Lock said Big this thumb on you'll see.
That's right.
Niggas talking it but ain't living it.
Bad boy.
So it's like, so while they coming up talking this gangster shit, like Big is a gangster rapper.
Right.
He talking that shit, he got the money behind it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he may not have been that gangster in the street.
I know.
He got that money.
But you know what? I say that when I first was hearing the Locks, and I really first heard them on that Wu-Tang remix the Funk Master Plan.
Yeah.
And the first thing I said was, wait a minute, who the F is
That's
these
the first
dudes?
thing I said. When I heard
who
them,
are these dudes?
I said, who the fuck is
that's
that?
matching Biggie in his rhyme? Because Biggie was hot. Which I know that to me, I think that was a slight little come at Wu-Tang Clan, Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, because I'm gonna say this. I was looking at Hulu and I didn't get all the Hulu when they showed when Raekwon and Ghostface Killer got tight when Ghostface Girl, which is the RZA's sister, was playing One More Chance. At the time, that's when you got that tension. With small niggas acting like cavemen. I think that's why Big was tight with Puff in releasing that Juicy and not Machine Gun Funk. But that's why the road to the riches came. To keep his street cred.
Well, the thing is that if he didn't do Juicy, he'd have possibly been like
he said, rapper.
He'd have fuck around and been like he said in a movie, another bum ass mixtape rapper.
Yeah.
Because because you got to understand what Juicy did. Juicy took him on another level.
Yes, it did.
You know what I'm saying? Because getting back to that album, my favorite song off that album that fucked my world up. That really, when I was high, listen to that album, "Ready to Die." The song "Ready to Die," Easy Mo B. Yes. I don't know what the fuck he was on with that, but that shit, yo. Well, in a sec, I'll put the tech to your fucking neck. Biggie about to get the wreck. It's just that he connected with that track.
Right.
Like that had to be the title of the album because, like, to me, "Ready to Die" is the best song on the album. To me, and I love "Unbelievable." I love "Suicidal." I love the whole album. But when "Ready to Die" is just something different. I get what I understood him completely on that.
Right. Yo, in closing, we're about to get out of here and wrap it up. Sam Hill, what you want to say to the people, brother?
Yo, I just want to say thank you for allowing me on your show, God.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that Lorenzo,
yes, sir.
The almighty Sam Hill, I appreciate it. I just want to say that I have a show that comes on every Tuesday from 6 to 7 called Pariah Radio.
That's right.
With my man Andre Leroy Davis, A.L. Dre. You know what I'm saying? It's a talk show that features my music and we just talk about life in general, and we're going to have guests and stuff, and I appreciate you having me on your platform tonight, bro.
Sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Let's wrap it up, Matthew. Peace out to all the people in Black Raspberry Land.
Peace.
Yeah.